All right, hi guys. Welcome back to our weekly trading forecast. My name is Dylan, and over here I have JJ with me. So welcome back. So as usual, I'm gonna kick off with the dollar index. So let me just share my screen right now. Right, so we are sharing the for the week of 31st of August to 4th of September. So today will be the last day of August itself. So mostly during the last day of a month, it also means to say the monthly candle is going to be completed. So usually during times like this, we try not to engage any trade after the monthly candle is closed. But otherwise, if there's good setups, of course, you can always try to go ahead with it as long as you manage your risk and plan your trade well. But anyway, let's kick off with the dollar index. So right here is the dollar index in the day chart. So what happened last week was that the dollar actually ranged at first. The volatility started to pick up. And on Thursday, we can see there was actually an attempt to depreciate further after Powell's speech, which actually reaffirms their stance on looser monetary policy. You know, things like keep on printing money, support the economy with more money, supply and stuff like that. So, of course, most importantly, keeping interest rate low for a good 1 or 2 years. So. And finally, on Friday, it actually continued to fall after the pullback. So right now, it's very obvious to me in the shorter time frame, dollar is definitely still bearish, and we could do to sell the dollar further. But in even bigger time frame, all the way back to the weekly charts. One thing we want to take note of when we want to sell the dollar is that the entire volume, ever since it started to fall from the highest at about 103 all the way till now, if you were to measure this volume, okay, duplicate this and put it across this area right here, you can see that the entire volume is very similar to what to the bearish trend back in early 2017, and took about the same amount of time as well. So, which could potentially means that there will be a strong pullback, a strong rebound at the bottom. And right now, if we were to look at the current waves, right, of the dollar index, what we can actually see is this is the maybe we can look at day charts. Obviously, this is the first wave. Then this is the second wave that represents the pullback. And the third wave came down, fourth wave, and finally the last wave completed after it actually went into range, but right now it is still kind of ranging downwards. So that could potentially means that very soon, somewhere at the downside, maybe as it tries to retest the bottom of this entire falling channel, there might be a very strong pullback, a significant one definitely. So if we want to try to sell dollar short term wise, I think it's totally fine, but try to get out of the market as soon as it hit a certain important support level, or if we completed the average of a daily volume, for example. So that is the thing you want to take note of if you are trying to sell the dollar. Otherwise, I may be looking at opportunity to buy the dollar index again. So as you can see, if purely we are looking at this channel, the bottom of the channel itself, I think 91 is a pretty good price for us to try the rebound. But definitely, I will recommend to wait patiently for at least some sort of a stop on a reversal candlestick formation. Then we try to go and actually buy the dollar for the short term wise. I mean, as in buying the pullback. But otherwise, fundamentally, I still believe dollar will continue to go even lower, since it's obvious that the Federal Reserve is going to keep interest rate near to zero. So that's the case for now. All right, next, I will be talking about the euro dollar. So euro dollar very similar to the dollar, mirror it's like a mirror reflection. So similarly on the in the last week, at first it also just range. There was obvious there was actually a strong upward movement on Thursday, but it pulls back again. But after that, on Friday itself, it went on, continued to appreciate within this entire riding channel. So in the short term wise, definitely we can clearly see that the euro dollar has still has the potential to go even higher. So actually what I wanted to do was to buy the euro dollar again as it today, if it actually pulls back to this level at 1.84, because that's where it actually broke out from this small little range right here. So I was waiting for the pullback and the retest, but nevertheless it didn't happen. So since it has come out at this price, I think we can continue to wait for the pullback back to this support level right here. Could be a good price for us to consider going for the buy again for the euro dollar. And but of course, if it pulls back even further, then definitely we'll look back again at the at the breakout point of this small little range right here, price of 1.1845. So target wise, we always look back at the previous high, but going forward, looking at a even higher price, I think in the weekly charts, I am actually looking at this level. It's a very hidden resistance actually. So at 1.20, 1.20 is definitely a psychological price level as well. So definitely that will make a very good target if we are going to buy the euro dollar again. That's where you want to take profit, and very likely there will be a pullback, just like a dollar. In the next, I don't know, maybe it can happen this week, it can happen in the next couple of weeks as well. All right, next I would like to bring my time over to JJ to share his trading plan for the week. So JJ.
First, we have is dollar CAD. You can see that dollar CAD is currently being supported at quite a key demand zone. So this week, I would probably expect dollar CAD to go sideways to range similar to the previous waves. We could look to sell dollar CAD again if it comes back to this level, or actually conversely, we could actually look to buy at the current level, because if we see on the bigger time frame, the previous wave was measured around 640 pips, and the current wave is actually also at about 120 pips or so. So actually, if the volume of the current wave is similar to the previous one, we should expect a bigger pullback. And if that happens, then maybe something like this would form again, where there would be two waves of retracement. Now, next would be pound dollar. Similarly to dollar CAD, we can see that it's now being resisted at this zone. And on the weekly time frame, we can see ever since the Brexit fall in 2016 June, it's currently trading at the middle of the range now. So there is bound to have some resistance at current level. Similarly to dollar CAD, also two waves has been formed, similar length, similar volume. So if price were to be resisted here, then we could look to buy pound dollar again if it comes back to the bottom of the range here. But however, if price were to just break above now, then we can just look at a retest and buying pound dollar. So this will be my two analysis.
Actually, after I watch you sharing about pound dollar, I am quite keen to sell. Actually, you can go to the monthly charts. If you go to the monthly charts, and if you were to draw a trend line from all the way from the highest, all the way from the highest, and try to connect the closing prices. Right now, it is really about to hit the trend line, and as you said, that is actually the gap that formed during the Brexit as well, in the middle of the entire range right now. So definitely a very important level for us to watch out. And you know, actually, if you look at the monthly chart right here, right now the current trend, the current uptrend is also about the same volume as the previous one.
Mm.
Yeah, these two. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
two. Yeah. So all of a sudden, I have an idea that I think I want to try to sell pound dollar as well, especially if we also expect, or rather for myself, I do expect dollar may rebound or pull back strongly and significantly in the next either this week or the next couple of weeks. So I think this is pound dollar is something we can really watch out for.
Yeah, if it goes a bit higher to a better price, I think it'll be a really good price to sell.
1.135 maybe 1.35. Okay, anyway, right, thanks for sharing, JJ. That's a very good insight. So now let me go back to my screen right here. Okay, so next I want to share is the goal. All right, as we know, the goal in this month, finally, we are seeing that the price has stopped climbing for the time being. There was a very strong pullback 2 weeks ago. And after the pullback, the price actually fell into a range, as we can see in the day charts. And what happened last week is that the gold continues to range, but we observed that it is consistently supported at 1,921. And if we go all the way to 4-hourly charts, we can see that this is the first pullback, a very strong pullback. After that, the market did not, or rather was not able to continue to fall further. It pulls back first, very strong pullback, all the way. I think this is about 61.8% or slightly more. After it fell into a range. And if we will try to do something about this movement, we'll see that this is actually a symmetrical triangle. Or if we're just looking at this falling trend line, what happened last week is that the gold has broke above the this falling trend line or this entire symmetrical triangle. So obviously that tells me the gold may continue to climb. The only thing that I think that we got to be careful of is the dollar, which may rebound anytime. Unsure about that, but like I said, if it pulls back to a pretty good price where we can try to buy the gold again, I think that will definitely just do a good plan to try to buy the gold again, because fundamentally the gold does has a good fundamental reason to continue to climb as well. So looking levels I'm looking at, obviously this was the range before you actually break out of it. So the breakout point is about 1,951. If I go all the way to 1-hourly chart right now, we've seen that this entire trend that formed last Friday it actually stopped today, and it has already pulled back once right here. Right now it's ranging. So probably if we can see the price were to pull back again back to this level right here, right, very near to the 1,951 level. But if not, if you were to give you a range, probably from 1,955 to 1,951 is a pretty good zone for us to consider to buy the gold again. And in terms of the targets, I am looking at most definitely the previous high, I believe, somewhere right here. This is actually a pretty important supply zone right here based on the candlestick structure patterns right here. I think this is a very important supply zone. So end of the day, I'll just look all the way to this level. And I think that would be a final target if we were to buy the gold in the short term or as intraday trade. Otherwise, otherwise that's pretty much for the gold. Last but not least is the US 30, the Dow Jones. So the Dow Jones, we have seen the Dow Jones, for some reason it just kept climbing. I know it's being inflated it is not a reflection of the reality right now we have in regards to the economic situation right now. But anyway, what happened is that previously it was actually ranging, multiple attempts to actually reverse and fall, but then it actually broke out of this range or this pullback and continues to climb. And I thought it is back to the top of the range again. It may start to fall. And yes, indeed, it did. But for some reason, last week it just continued to climb again. All right, so that's the thing about the stock market right now. There's always some kind of force behind, that keep getting the stock market to climb. I mean, if you were to look at Apple, to a certain extent, it is quite ridiculous that it is already that high and still breaking historical high over and over again. Of course, the Nasdaq as well. The Dow Jones is the only one that looks normal to me. So yeah, I'm focusing on the Dow Jones still. Believe that there will be a pullback, a strong pullback as well, a significant one, like what happened during June. There was a really strong sell-off. So actually, if we go to the day charts, looking at this entire bullish trend, right? You can see that it has completed one wave. The second wave and the third wave is in the process, and I think it will end very soon. Could have ended based on the current reversal we are seeing right now. Important level as well, 28,800, very close to the historical high at 29,500. So that's something you can consider, trying to sell the Dow Jones at this point. Maybe not at this point, but maybe if it's able to pull back, make slight pullback first, you try to get in at a better price. Target wise, I think you can look all the way, back to, I believe this level will be important, 27,500 or 600. This is an important level. Previous high turn support being tested. If it comes back to this level, I think it will be a very good price to take profit as well. So that's the Dow Jones. And with that, JJ, do you still have anything to share?
No.
All right. So with that, we have come to the end of this week's trading forecast video. So thank you so much for watching, and we will see you again next week.